Hello YouTubers, this is Cessnaace back again with another package video. I had originally done this as another index card type thing, but it turned out to be cumbersome and I didn't like the way it turned out, so I decided to do it the more old-fashioned way. Yes, I still have the problem with the audio, so please bear with me. I'm trying to get this ironed out, but it is not easy. I know that some of you are finding it hard to watch these videos, so that's why I had tried the index card thing last time, but as I said, with this one it turned out to be too cumbersome. Now I have 3 games that I have here for the Sega Master System. All 3 are UK releases. Before I show them, I want to talk briefly, if I can, about Tengen. I say if I can because the whole Tengen story is convoluted. In the early days, Atari was owned by Warner Brothers. Then came the game crash in the US of '83 and '84. Warner Brothers sold the home division, both consoles and computers, as well as the home software part of Atari, to Jack Tramiel, who had founded Commodore but had been ousted from Commodore by its shareholders and its board of directors because they did not like the way he was running the company. Anyway, Jack Tramiel bought that part of Atari, and the name was Atari Corporation. Warner Brothers retained the arcade division, which they had to rename from Atari Coin to Atari Games because of the contract they had signed with Jack Tramiel. So they could only use the Atari name if it was followed by games. Warner Brothers only held on to it for about a year. They then sold it to a Japanese company who wanted it as a American subsidiary. But they only kept it for about a year, and I don't even remember which one it was. They wound up selling it to the American stockholders / employees of Atari Games. And then they decided they wanted to get into the home console software market, but they couldn't use the Atari name, so they did the next best thing. They came up with Tengen. Now, I say next best thing because Atari's name, the Atari word, was derived from a Chinese game called Go. The word Tengen is derived from the same Chinese game. Now, Alien Syndrome was an arcade game from Sega, but they licensed the Famicom rights to Sunsoft. Sunsoft licensed that version to Tengen. So even though this is based on a Sega arcade game and says copyright 1987-89 Sega Enterprises Limited, the port was actually done by Sunsoft and published by Tengen. I finally have the Master System version, which was released in the US, but this is the UK version. And saw the different languages back there. As my good buddy X52708 would say, comes complete with wee little Winky, cartridge, and manual. This is in real nice condition. Okay. Next up are 2 games that were not released in the US for the Master System. Trivial Pursuit. This was published by Domark, and if you see the Domark logo, you immediately know it's not a US release because they didn't release anything for the Master System in the US. I don't think. I say that, and then I suddenly decide I'm not as sure as I was. Sega Activision. Sega Activision. Sega Activision. Sega Parker Brothers. Sega Parker Brothers. Sega Seismic, which was the last third-party game released for the Master System in the US. Nothing Parker Brothers. Nothing from Domark. I have other games from Domark, so I wasn't sure. But yes, if it's published by Domark for the Master System, it was not a US release. Anyway, playable in English, French, I believe that's German, and Spanish. The questions that are visible on the screenshots are: Sean Connery sang this while going to a Kingsley death in which Kipling-based film? Why did this cause embarrassment in the latest James Bond movie? It's a Red Cross. Which was the first African country to celebrate an Olympic gold medal? Anyway, those are the questions that you can see on the screenshots. There are 2,000 questions according to the text on the back. And this was developed by Horn Abbott International Limited, published by Domark. I can't remember. Did I show the manual? I don't remember. There's the cartridge. And there's the manual. And from Tato, Special Criminal Investigation, another port of an arcade game. This had an ugly sticker on it right here when I got it, but I de-stickered it. Super complete with cartridge, manual, and if I can get the manual out without damaging it, which is in super nice condition all the way around. The UK obviously went in for a practice that they went in with the Master System here, and that's the inclusion of poster catalogs. This way first. No need for a rapid fire add-on for the Japanese Master System, as it comes with a built-in rapid fire system, the 16-bit Mega Drive, and the new Game Gear. I don't know if Sega Chess actually came out. I've never run across it anywhere, but I do know it was never released here. Submarine Attack. Choplifter, one of my favorite games for the Master System, which I also have for the Atari 7800. And Ace of Aces, which I also have for the 7800. Cool. Now, been visiting eBay as usual, and I've discovered that I have a very valuable game. It is a homebrew for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive / Sega CD / Mega Drive CD or Mega CD. Pure Solar or Pure Solar, however you want to pronounce that. And the Great Architect. The game is on cartridge, but it has enhanced sound, music and sound effects on a disc that is bootable in a Sega CD or a Mega CD. Now, the copy that I have, which I've been keeping as near it as I can, is number 149 out of 800. And I don't remember what I paid for it, but whatever it was, Watermelon was asking for it. However, on eBay I've discovered that another used copy of this same edition, numbered 676 out of 800, is currently going for $200. A sealed copy of this version is going for $500. A sealed copy of the classic Genesis packaging version is going for $6.99. A sealed European Mega Drive packaging version is going for $7.99 on eBay and $1,200 on Amazon. There is a fourth version that came out in a plastic clamshell case, but that, like the previous three, has sold out. And people are trying to convince Watermelon to come out with a fifth version. I've also ordered quite a bit of things. I'm waiting for packages of games for the Sega Master System, the Japanese Master System. A package is coming from Japan, strangely enough. A Genesis Mega Drive homebrew game, and 3 Dreamcast homebrew games, plus a ton of Laserdiscs and so forth and so on. And before I run out of time, I'll just say, stay awesome. Plus I've got a cat whining that wants to go out. Whimpers like a dog, this cat. Just the strangest thing.